searching, what was it about me that allowed a man to do those things to me? It wasn't about him. It was about me. And so I had to discover that I didn't love myself.
Mm-hmm.
It started from when I was a child.
Right. And you didn't know that you were taught not to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I was always looking for love. Always looking for love.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it from my father. So it starts when we're young, and that's why it's so important. And the work that I do and the volunteer work that I do is with children, is we need to catch them at an early age where we can mold and grow.
Yeah.
If you have an angry little boy, he grows up to be an angry man.
Yes, he does. A terror.
An angry man.
Yes.
And so that's what I look at what I'm doing right now. It is to help teach someone else. Save
wonderful.
Another life.
That is wonderful. And I applaud you and commend you. You are, like I said, you've always been that one when I saw you light up, like, there's my pet, you know.
Absolutely.
So,
you were my little Helona.
And I mean, that is a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that you went through what you went through, came out the other side where you did, makes me admire you more.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because, you know, we have had people in the neighborhood that didn't come out so well.
Absolutely.
And, you know, all you can do is say, ugh. If
only you knew. If I only knew how to do that. We don't know how to leave. And I got to say, through this, and since I've been in Georgia, I've met very prominent figures, women in this community, in this state, across the country. You would never believe or is experiencing as we speak domestic violence.
Yeah.
You would never think, because they're strong women on the outside. And like I said, I didn't think I was strong on the inside.
Right.
But I had to build myself up. I was spiritually broken. And I don't think anything is worse than spiritually being broken.
Yeah.
And I had to lean on my God and develop a better relationship with him to know that only he can save me.
Mm-hmm.
Only he can save me.
Yeah. So tell me where you are now. I mean, you know.
Actually, I'm very happy. I never thought that I would love someone as much as I thought I loved my husband, but I'm engaged now to a wonderful, wonderful man. He loves me, and it's not by words, it's about action.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind. I just never thought I would have that. I thought I would be alone for the rest of my life. And he's showing me a different life. And I believe that this second part of my life is going to be the best part of my life.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
God brought you through to give you that testimony.
Absolutely.
And then he gave you a prize at the end. You know,
it's even better than what I thought it could be.
And that's good. And the best thing, brought you back to me, girlfriend.
Well, you know, you never know. Like, life is a circle. And I just never thought. Who would have thought? Mm-hmm. We're from Jersey.
Exactly.
Now we all live in Georgia. Mm-hmm. Who would have thought?
Right around the corner from
Absolutely.
Yep.
So life is good. I can't complain. I just thank him every day. I thank him every day.
Yeah, me too. I start my morning before I open my eyes like, yes, I'm conscious. How you doing? You know, and have my conversation with him and put my day together and move through, because, you know, we've all been through some things.
Absolutely.
And we learn and we grow. If God
well,
willing.
hopefully we do.
Yeah,
hopefully
God
we
willing.
do.
And when we come to the other side, it's always going to be better.
Gosh, it's like there was a burden lifted off my shoulders. A burden lifted off my shoulders, and I don't want it to make it sound like I wanted my husband to leave this earth, because I never wanted anything to happen to him. But when that happened, I felt like I could breathe. Mm-hmm. I could breathe. I don't have this darkness covering me, following me.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like that shadow.
Because that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. He made it very clear. You're never going to leave me. I'm not going to let you leave me.
Yeah.
And I heard that for years, but you know, you just hear it and you just go on about your day-to-day life.
And on one side, it's like, oh, he just loved me so much.
He loved me so much.
And then it's like, okay, he's a little, you know.
Yeah, so there's some things that you learn, and it's imperative that we teach our young girls what true love is. And first of all, you got to love yourself, because no one's going to love you the way you deserve to be loved.
Exactly.
Got to love yourself.
Yep.
I mean, I'm 50 plus. I'm 50 plus, and I'm still learning and I'm still growing. Mm-hmm. But I know that God loves me more than anybody. And my mother always always says to me, we talk every week, several times a week, and at the end of each conversation, I say, I love you, Mom. She says, I love you more, but God loves you even more than I could ever love you. And I believe it now. Yeah. I didn't understand it then, but it's true.
And that's good. That's good. And you know, even talking about the generational curses and people keeping it taboo and quiet, a lot of times they do it because, again, the mask. But then other times they do it because they're afraid that if they tell, like a mother tells her daughter that her father is abusing her, it's going to affect the relationship.
Absolutely. There's going to be a different light between that daughter and father. But I think it's imperative that we do. I mean, of course, it depends on the stages and ages of the person. But it's important that we have truthful dialogue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then we live a lie.
Exactly.
And then what we think a man is supposed to be based on what we saw. Well, what we saw wasn't real.
Exactly. Now everything's up in the air. Like,
absolutely.
You know, and then you can start to understand the position a child is in when they grow up thinking these are my parents, only to find out that those are my parents. You know, you're kind of lost. You're off put because now you don't know what to do with the information that you've held on to. And now you got new information. You got to figure out where to file that.
Yeah.
You know,
and you know, you have to redefine your life. So I had to redefine my life because I had been married to that man for 25, going on 26 years. And I was a mother. I was a wife. I was a lot of titles. So now when you are removed from those titles, well, who am I now?
Oh, you just touched on it. I was talking before we started this interview. That was what I talked about,
wow.
Knowing yourself. Who am I after everything is said and done? And that's a serious question to ask, especially when you've had a lot of years behind you.
Yes.
And you're put in this position now. You made it to a certain point in life, but you don't know.
It's almost, it's like you're clueless. You're an adult, but you're a child trying to figure it out all over again.
Exactly.
And so, you know, I have a daughter that's 31. I have a stepson that's 32. And, you know, they were my life. So no matter what I was going through, and I still had a profession. So I'm working, I'm taking care of the kids, I'm taking care of my husband, but I'm not taking care of me.
Right.
So now who am I? They're gone. He's gone.
Yep.
What do? I have my job. So at that time, I just engulfed myself in work and God.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's about right, because I went through the same thing less than a year ago. It's like my daughter went off to college, and I'm going, I wanted to be alone by so bad, but now I don't know what to do. So, you know, it's something that we all go through at one point in our lives, but it just depends on how well we know ourselves prior to that point. Yeah. That determines where you go or how hard it's going to be. Yeah. And, you know, it's pretty darn good if you ask me.
Yeah. You know what? My life is good. Yeah. You know, people will say, how are you today? I'm great. You know, and most people don't expect that response, right? I got to say, because someone asked me the question, like, why now? Why am I able to tell my story now? Well, you know, there's multiple reasons. When I was in New Jersey, guess what? I was in a certain circle of friends. Yep. I had a certain church I went to. I had an image, right? And so actually in 2012, I ran from New Jersey. I ran from that, and I ended up in Georgia. It found me here.
Same story.
But I was able to be free here, and I believe that God brought me here. He brought me here for a purpose, and I now know what my purpose is. My purpose is to serve and help, save lives. That's my purpose, right? We all have a career, but what is your purpose in life? So I remember reading The Divine Purpose for Your Life, and it was 2013. Here in Georgia. I joined this church because I was looking for God, just searching and building my relationship. And that is when a light bulb came on. Why did I go through this? We have to ask ourselves the why. Yeah. Why? Right? Has to be a reason. Now, granted, my time and God's time is two different things.
You got that right.
25 years could have been 22 minutes to him. But I made it through, and there's a lot of people who didn't make it through. Right. But I was able to do that here. I don't think that if I was still there, I could do that. And I believe that God removed me from there for a reason.
Yeah, definitely. For a reason. And I believe that because where we grew up, everybody had an image. And I had so many, like you said, as an adult, you had a lot of titles, but as a child, I had a lot of titles. Yeah. I was the baby of the family.
Yep.
I was one of the barbers. I was the daughter of an elder. And, yes. I was, all of these things, but I was never me.
Yeah.
And when I left at 19 and came down here. It wasn't until maybe 6 years ago that anybody that knew me knew that I had siblings.
Wow.
I gave
you would have never, it couldn't happen in New Jersey because everyone knew your family. You came from a large family. You had a beautiful mother. I mean, you came from a large, good family. So you couldn't do that.
Exactly.
So I kind of understand, like I could, I'm going to use the word hide because in the beginning I was hiding. I was trying to find myself. I was trying to build a life because I knew that if I stayed in New Jersey, someone would die. It would be me or him. And I knew that I could never hurt him. No matter what, I couldn't hurt him.
So you already knew the
answer.
And I
always felt, and I always said, one of us is going to have to leave this earth. And I knew that I could not free myself of him. I couldn't physically, earthly do that. So that was the reason for fleeing to Georgia. However, without, going into the book, we reconnected and I thought, oh God, you believe, I swear I'm not going to do this anymore. It's going to change. It's going to be different. And your hope, your love for that person is, you know what? Maybe this time.
Yeah.
Maybe this time.
Yeah.
But that was the last time.
Wow. Well, I commend you and I am thankful for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm blessed to know your fiance, and he is a wonderful man.
Yes, he is.
And I was talking to my sister, Debbie. And I said, Pat's down here and she's getting engaged and she has the best husband she could possibly get, because I respect him so much. And he's so sweet. And when you just talk to him, you see his love.
Well, he has a soul and it's a peaceful soul. It's a loving soul. I've never felt that in a man before.
Right.
I've never felt that in a man before.
Did it kind of take you off guard?
Absolutely. And I got to say, I thank God for him. And sometimes I know I'm probably a little rough on the edges for him, but I have to kind of navigate that because it's new. It's totally new.
Yeah.
So I am from a place, a time, that I always have my defenses up. But I'm learning I don't have to have those walls up with him.
And it's hard sometimes.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to tear down those walls.
Yeah.
But I think he knows, and I thank him for putting up with me.
That's sweet. Yeah. He got his little pickaxe. He just picked away.
Yeah, chip. We did talk about that when we first met. So I got to say, we met in July of last year, and we're engaged to be married any day now.
Wow, look at that.
Yep, look at God. That's what I said. That's God. That's not me.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, that's God.
Well, that's a beautiful thing. I thank you so much. Now, coming out, we're about to wrap up everything because I could talk to you for hours.
Yes.
But what, if you had to say one thing to people, not just women, because there are men that go through it too, what would you say?
Love yourself. Love yourself. Because if you love yourself, no one can take anything away from you. Know that you're a gem. God created you. He did not put you on this earth to be hurt. He put you on this earth to give love and receive love.
That is so great. That is beautiful. I thank you so much.
Oh, I got to give you a hug. I love you.
Oh, I love you too. And, you said it. Pick up the book. Go. I'm sorry, we're sitting outside on the balcony and it's so pretty out here. I'm sure you can hear all the animals, the ducks, the goats, and everything. Because next door is a little farm. You wouldn't expect it in Atlanta, but it's pretty nice out here. But tell us how to find your book.
I'm on Amazon.com and my website is www.patfarmer.com. But if you can type in my name or you can type the title, Weathering the Storm of Abuse, How I Made It Through, or Pat Ellaby Farmer.
Awesome. Well, you heard it. Get the book. I'm telling you, it's a must read and it's a turn pager. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anytime. God bless.
Bless you too.